It's Matt of the Runner Space with Coach Berryhill from Colorado State. Pretty decent day for your kids today.
Yeah, it started out really well in the steeple. Good run by my 800 guy, and then 10K was okay. It's a typical track meet. You take the good with the bad, and can't expect it all to go well. But overall, I think we're doing okay. Still a big day tomorrow, though.
Let's go a little bit race by race. Spencer had a rough conference meet last year, and maybe to say the least, and this year comes out and wins it, and what does that do for him?
I think it's huge. Spencer and Jake's the same way. Both those kids have just progressively each year gotten a little bit better and kind of taken the ups with the downs, and I think anybody who's been a runner a long time knows you're going to have your ups and you're going to have your downs, and if you can't keep a level head and find a way to get out of the downs, you're not going to make it. And he's just done a really good job of just believing in what we're doing and believing in himself. And a day like today, it shows. And just really proud of him. It was a tough race in the last 200, and he really showed some guts to win it.
Sometimes those progressions come and the times come, but then when you get to a tactical race, it's a whole different ball game. So, what does this do for his confidence going into the time of the year where tactical means everything, just winning and not necessarily times?
I think it's big. Anytime you win a conference championship, I think that really boosts your ego a little bit. I think when he ran 8:51 at Stanford a couple weeks ago, that really helped. This is only going to help a little bit more. And then, he gets to go run the West Region meet, or first round NCAA, whatever we do call it now. It's Eugene, Oregon. And, that's, about an hour from where he grew up. And he's always, up until this year, his PR has always come in Eugene. So I think he's excited. I think he's as confident as he's ever been. He's as fit as he's ever been. And as far as the tactics go, the nice thing about the steeples is it's a pretty honest race, It does become a little bit tactical, but nothing like that 10K we just witnessed there.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second, but the girls 10K, Kendra got fourth for you in a little bit of a grinding race. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I thought Kendra ran really well. You look at the time, and that's kind of what I was projecting she'd run on her best day today, and I thought she did really well. And she'd struggled, I guess, in her first couple races actually this year. So to come back and run right around 36:30 for her today, I thought was a good race under those conditions. And Sarah, I thought ran a solid race, kind of where I think she was going to finish. I thought maybe we'd get Ellie to score there somewhere, so that's kind of a little disappointing, I'm sure, for her as well.
Then to that men's 10K, which started out about through 5K about the same pace as the women's.
Well, they were about 7-8 seconds slower through the mile than the girls. The girls were 5:50 highs, and the guys were 6:07-ish. So, it was a kind of just people going back and forth. Even once they went, it was a bunch of false moves and go for 4, go for 2, go for 1. And, finally got going with probably 3K left. But, those are fun to watch. I think for the crowd, I think it's fun. But mentally, I think it's a tough way to run it. And I think you saw that. I think some people that probably should have done pretty well in that race kind of struggled with it, and mentally it does play with your mind going back and forth. I still, to this day, the race I remember that the most was Bob Kennedy doing that to Adam Goucher in Eugene, Oregon, and I just watched the rest of the field, and he'd pick it up for 100 and then drop for 100 and pick it up kind of like you're doing sprint, straight, jog the turns, and that's a tough way to race, and especially if you're not ready for it.
As a coach, how do you deal with that, with wanting your kid to not be in that position where it's mentally tough for him? One of your athletes took it out a couple times and no one went with him, so he slowed it back up. How do you deal with that as a coach?
Well, it's hard and frustrating at the same time. You get an athlete in a race like that, and the hard part is there's a spread there. You got the New Mexico kid who on paper is a minute 30 better than any of our guys running, and you kind of wonder if you send your guy out there to start popping the 71, 72s, people are just going to go sit on him, and then he's going to be stuck leading. And that's kind of what he was trying out there, was to see if he went, if somebody would kind of go and start to help him. And I think the kid we had behind him, Lesser, he did a very similar thing, and kind of stayed back and went with it. And I don't know, it's frustrating. It's hard, I guess, to really know what to tell your athlete in that situation. If I had a great closer, like the one BYU kid I saw ran a 152 half a couple weeks back, and if I had a 152 half guy, I'd say just play this cat and mouse all you want, and you're going to beat him in the last 400. So just depends a lot on your athlete, the speed, and if they can take it for a whole 3K or not.
And both the 15s just went straight to a final tomorrow. What are you looking for out of those and the 8 tomorrow?
In the 8, that men's 8's going to be fun. There's today, I think 1 through 8 was from 50.02 to 50.85, so basically 0.8 of a second there separating 8 guys. So that's going to be a barn burner. That's going to be probably one of the more enjoyable races to watch tomorrow. And you know, my kid, he's consistent. He's a little freshman that pretty much goes out there and runs 150 point every day. If he does that again tomorrow, he's going to end up doing pretty good. And then the 1500s on the men's side, got Jake Kaiser coming back from a steeple. You know, hopefully he can hang in there and get a 5th or 6th. You know, those top 4 guys are pretty far out there at, you know, 344, 345 or better range. And some Miles Batty guys ran okay this year too.
Well, best wishes tomorrow.
Thank you.